Hi, I'm Rick Rheins, Senior Rabbi at Temple Sinai in Denver, Colorado. This week's Torah portion begins the fourth book of the Torah. It's Bamidbar, the fourth book, which we also know as the book of Numbers. And we'll be reading from the very first of the parshiot in the book of Numbers. And that's chapters 1 through 4 of the book of Numbers. Bamidbar. What is Bamidbar? In the wilderness. And throughout the book of Numbers, they will have the details of the journeys and the wanderings of the children of Israel as they make their way through some 39 years up to the time which they're just about poised to enter into the promised land of Israel. But right now, it's just the very, very beginning, and it's 13 months after the Exodus. So 13 months after the Exodus from Egypt, Moses is instructed to take a census, specifically to count all the men who are 20 years old and older who will be fit to serve in the defense of Israel. Because here they are, they're in the wilderness. And in this wilderness, they're going to face enemies. They're going to face a lot of challenges. And so we have to prepare for our defense. And so he says, count tribe by tribe, clan by clan, each according to their ancestral homes, and make sure that we know how many men are eligible to serve in the defense of our people. Now, this census did not include the Levites. The Levites had a different role. They were Mishmeret Mishkan Haidut. They were those who were to guard the tabernacle, which contained the tablets of the Ten Commandments and the revelation from Sinai. So as we're reading in our Torah portion, from tribe to tribe, the census, you get numbers. And so it makes sense then within the Western ideal, the book would be called the Book of Numbers because it's filled with census numbers, right? And indeed, it came up with a specific number. They counted all the men who were eligible for the defense. That's 20 years old and older. And it came up with the number 603,550. 603,550. So some of the rabbis in the ancient world said, that corresponds to the number of letters in the Torah, which is a wonderful teaching, that the number of letters in the Torah corresponds to the number of those who are going to rise up in the defense of our people. And it gives us a teaching as well to say that we are each like letters in the scroll, and that if one of us is missing, as it is with a letter in the Torah, if a letter in the Torah is missing, it's pasul, can't be read with a service, so too everyone counts. Well, it's a lovely teaching, but it's not true. First of all, it doesn't count the women. It doesn't count those who are younger than 20, and it doesn't count those who are older, who are too old to serve. And there's another problem with that teaching, and that is there aren't 603,550 letters. The count is rather 304,880. So those of you who are keeping count, that's maybe a Jeopardy question. How many letters are there in the Torah? 304,880. So there you go. So they say, wait a minute. So this whole teaching is not appropriate. If you have a good teaching that has a nice little lesson, people don't want to let it go. So they came up with this. They said, wait a minute. Maybe if you count the vowels, because of course the Torah is only written with consonants, maybe if you count the vowels, that'll come up to the extra 300,000. No, not quite. They said, here's another one. What if you consider the white spaces in between the black ink of the letters? Then you can come up with an extra. So you can come up with all kinds of reasons why you can why these numbers don't correlate. Or you can just say, you know what, it's a nice teaching and it's sweet, but it doesn't resonate with what our experience is. Our experience rather here is not just the counting of the number of people who will be able to defend the people or the number of letters, but it's rather that we start off this journey b'midbar, in a wilderness. And each person, men and women, people of all age, those who will rise up for the defense with their arms and their weapons and their strength, those who will rise up with their wits and their leadership and their spirit, those who will nurture, those who will teach, all are a part of the children of Israel. And we start out in the most humble of circumstances, Bamidbar, in the wilderness. That's a lesson I think we should count on, not the numbers of letters or the number of people who are serving, but rather that no matter what the circumstances are, even in the harshness of a wilderness, if we look to each other and count on each other, that we will go from the most difficult of circumstances to that promised land. We need to resonate with that as well. Let no one be counted out. Let no one feel that he or she does not count, but rather to say, wherever we are, let us stand together. We are B'nai Israel, tribe by tribe, clan by clan, ancestral home by ancestral home, those who were born among our people, those who chose to become a part of our people. We are all in this journey together. It starts off perhaps in the wilderness, Bamidbar, but it will end in the promised land, Eretz Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom.